So it is contained in this real sad experience from Congo of one active corporation member. It's not that yet. It's just new, and he found out about the new presentation now. He's a corporation member who became depressed and disappointed and approached Mariam and asked for information about the new song. Mariam gave him books to go and read, and later he had some questions to ask Mariam. But instead of answering them, Mariam asked him to better attend the new classes that they hold that way, and in that way, many new friends could look at his questions from many angles. So he came and asked his questions and revealed that upon starting to sing the new song, he started having strange dreams. In one, he found himself deep in a forest and was being chased. Then he met someone who offered to take him on his motorbike so he could exit the forest very quickly. And that is how he got out of the forest. So he continued doing the new sessions after this discussion class, where he gave this narrated this first experience. And during the next discussion class, he narrated how he had a formidable real sad experience. In it, he met one of the Ekis who ensures that the canker mails are distributed to all the members on time. This mailman is called Philippe, and he asked him what was wrong that he hadn't been seen at the center or in other places that Ekis frequent, so that he could give his letters. So the mailman told him to call around any time to get his letters, but he replied that he was no longer part of a canker, and that the egg mailman could do what he wants with the letters. As he was saying this, Harold immediately appeared and started threatening him and saying that he would see what he would do to him instantly. Harold gripped him with force and started dragging him. Then our new friend started singing the new song to ask for help and protection. And instantly, Shamuzi Tabriz appeared and commanded Harold to let go of him. Harold did so instantly and wanted to lay blame on the person he was aggressing. Shamuzi told him first to kneel down, and he obeyed like an infant, and he told him to leave immediately to his dirty and shitty world. Harold left with the mailman Philippe to their pigsty on the other side, while Shamuzi and the new friend moved to a beautiful meadow that was clean and all natural, sparkling. Then Shamuzi leaves Albert, the new friend, for some time, but before that he tells him that he will soon introduce him to all the real guides. While he is briefly away, Harold reappears and draws a circle around the new friend, and all kinds of worms, creatures start coming out around him. And this new friend starts feeling weak and crying, asking what he would do next. Shamuzi immediately returns with the other guides, and they do away with the circle around the new friend. Then the real guides, they scold Harold vehemently and chase him, and he runs deep into the dirty forest from which he came out. This new friend's conclusion is that it is for real that the real guides no longer stand with Harold. And so this friend has now stepped up his engagement with a new group, and even though he's financially squeezed, he contributes towards the running of the center. And he has disclosed that there are so many real guides he did not know while a member of a Kanka. And Mariam has said there are so many Ekis who have realized themselves or are about to turn a new page. And new friends in Congo avow that Harold's condition is exactly as Duane paints it during his presentations. So this is really startling. And I want to add on a personal note here that someone that I know who had termed the new presentation a distraction has deserted the cooperation on the real side. He told me 2 days ago that he has left egg on the real side. I tried to remind him of the new presentation. I think he's now in a wilderness, doesn't know where to go, but he will find his feet. So I first saw him last year. I saw him sleeping in the same bed with me. Then he has severed. Now he has severed his inner connection to an extent. Still, I'm waiting for him to appear. And it now appears to me that when you ignore people that you want to help and they spurn you, this is how things turn out sometimes. You know, the new presentation, we don't push it much. We just leave it there, out there for people to take their time. Those who will find it will find it. And so you see this friend, he at first called it a distraction, but now he is slowly coming, and so many more Ekis have realized, and they will soon show up. Over to you, Duane.
That was excellent, Charles. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. And that will be an excellent little video for Kelsey to take out of this conversation, and possibly Anton and others. So, yeah, it's self-evident, and that's great. These things are showing up because it's very real. And people don't have to be captured or trapped anymore by this nonsense and what's going on in the world. Yes, we are very real. Yes, thank you again.
Yeah. So that ends the Harold lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, Duane. Now, after sharing this, let me ask some questions of a secular nature. I have a devout cousin who is a pastor and who has created his own ministry and always sends me messages on WhatsApp. Well, I think he's out. He's going all lengths to save me, as he encourages others and me that communion with the Holy Spirit is the only way. Now I want to ask Jane, this concept of the Holy Spirit in religious scriptures, is it allusion to the sound light reality as we know it in the new presentation? Because they might be talking about something which is far greater than what they know, what they imagine. So I want to know whether this Holy Spirit they refer to, is it the same like the sound like reality that we are talking about in the new presentation, or what? Thank you.
Well, we'll just say it's kind of like, the electricity in our wall. There's many applications to it, and, each person decides how they're going to utilize it and what they plug into it. And this is how, all life is. It's an isness, okay? And so, through our own experiences and what we recognize, we see it a particular way. We relate to it a particular way. And there are also, this is talking about a sincere person that, wants to discover what's going on. But at the same time, we already know that there are many that their whole process here is to deceive others. So you have many ways to look at it. So here's this religious person wanting, telling you that, you must give in whatever to the Holy Spirit. Well, when you look on the real side at his intent, well, maybe it is sincere. I don't know. It is his choice. If it's sincere, then there is a relationship there, but it's according to what he is aware of and recognizes, okay? And so, but if it's not sincere, then it's all about control. He's using the so-called idea that's been invented, which is called the Holy Book or whatever. He's using that to try and manipulate you, to control you. So again, there's many ways to look at it, Charles. And for the most part, when people, if they come to me or others like that, if they come to me as an example, I just kind of let them play with their ideas and just say, I'm fine with everything. Basically, that's what I usually say. Sometimes I'll talk to them. I'll see how far they go, but it just depends. And if they start making statements about, God is everything, God is all knowing, and, there is nothing but God, well, then I just let them be. So again, it's everything that we're doing relates to the isness life is. It's just how we approach it, you might say, and what our intent is. And so it's going to be a variable of things. And, on the surface world here, a lot of people make it look good. They're really good, just like the cabal, the one world order. They utilize everything to market people a particular way, and it all supposedly looks good. But you decide, and you, for the most part, you can investigate it or not. For the most part, I don't look at these things. I just hear people what they say, or Ava will read something and such said this or that. It's like, okay, whatever. Those are just words. I see the demonstration. In other words, I look at what people are demonstrating. And just like the Ekkas, what are they demonstrating? Yes, many of them can be sincere, very well connected, and have experiences with the real guides. But at the same time, what they're doing is they're supporting what Harold and Joni are doing. Does that make sense? So that would be like me talking about the all-natural environment and then, working for the chemtrail pilots and delivering the poison, you see, because it's a really good job and it's high paying. Does that make sense? So you've got a lot of variables, but all of us are in this isness, and we decide what we're going to do in creation and how we're going to relate to it, and eventually if we decide to stand real with it or not completely. So yeah, it's along those lines. So again, there's many variables. So you plug your toaster into the wall or your blender or your TV. You decide what you're going to plug into it, and with your intent, what you're going to do with it or share or demonstrate it. Yeah, it's a personal choice. Thank you for asking.
This idea that people have imbibed about holy places. I was talking to a friend who is with a religious spiritual group, and he said Very soon he will be traveling to the Holy Land. And you see, the Holy Land. And then we also have holy places where the Muslims go, and there even some of them die from stampede and all the like. So this notion of holy places, and you have a holy land in Israel and all the like. Could we also be trying to look for where Duane is living so that we can make it some holy place to visit? I begin to doubt. What do you think about this talk, Duane?
Okay, so I've defined this before. The two basic ideas: divine, D-E-V-I-N-E, and holy, H-O-L-Y. Divine, it comes from the idea dying on the vine. In other words, where you're dead. Okay, so that's where divine comes from, because this is what they market. It's a subliminal word and idea and phrase, divine, which they've made it sound like it's all wonderful and all everything and etc. But it's not. It's really where you die on the vine. And the word holy is actually refers to holes in your aura. So these two ideas or phrases or words have been marketed to people for them to think that they're really something special when they're really not. And so again, to us, no, there's no such thing. But to the world, people think, oh, this is this or that. But you know what they're really doing? They're supporting the Kalam God. They're supporting the reptilians, etc. Unconsciously. These are subliminal. Alerts that tapline people to certain ideas, and they sound wonderful, don't they? It's all this goody stuff. Also, most people don't know this, but a lot of the Ekis use the word Baraka Bashad, which means may the blessings be. And so in reptilian language, that means God damn it. Okay, so again, as they keep using these words and phrases, they're supporting a subliminal, undermining consciousness of demise for everyone. So as they keep doing this, just like all the love and the prayers and stuff that go on, well, the world gets worse and worse and worse and worse because they're reinforcing all this. So the holy idea is just that. It's about taplining. That's the holy idea. That's what it originally was referred to as, just like the divine dying on the vine. Again, this is a sacrificial human farming planet. This is exactly what it is. And people can paint any idea of it they want, but just look at it. It's all poison and polluted. It's demonstrating what's really going on. So it's not what people think. It actually is what it is. So it's time to wake up, isn't it? So these words and phrases, divine, holy, blessings, all these things like that. Again, a blessing from Harry or Joni or the members or the Vatican or whatever. These are, this is where people agree to be being tap-lined. And it's a decision each person makes. It sounds really good and cute, but it's just tap-lining.